We don't care about what that mouth is doing, okay? We don't care. We want to see that fruit. How about that? Okay. So now, hi guys, welcome back to this channel. I am Darian if you are new here, and I wanted to do like a little cozy kind of video sharing my experience with how I learned to just fully trust in God for my life. So, okay, I got my coffee, it's cold. I'm bundled up and I'm excited about this video. I do want to kind of like give a little bit of information, I guess, about me as far as like my relationship with God. I like to share things when I feel led to share things, but I'm not a person that is like super open with a lot of the most intimate parts of my life because I just feel like those are the things that you protect. But there are some things that I have learned, and in the right timing, I want to like share them to help other people because I didn't really have guidance when it came to like me on my own relationship with God, which I feel like it is a true relationship. So you won't really be able to go step by step with how another person was able to get to their relationship. But I do feel that sometimes it's helpful to hear other people's stories and other people's situations so that you can learn for your own journey and walk. Okay, it's truly a journey, it's truly a walk, and one of the most beautiful things that I have embarked on. So yeah, let's go ahead and get into it. Okay, y'all, bear with me. It's cold. My nose has like the sniffles and all of those things. But the other day, I was just thinking like how all the things I have gone through in the past years have shaped me and formed me. And there was one specific, I guess you could call it lesson. It's just something I learned over the years in obedience that really like just stuck out to me. Like, wow, now I'm a listen. Now, whenever God tells me something, I'm a listen. Even if I don't have the understanding, I'm going to just listen, okay? I'm going to listen because that's going to keep me from being in hindering situations, and some things I just don't know. I'm sure a lot of things I don't know in my human mind. I know what I'm experiencing and the everyday life things that I see, and I know the things that I'm shown by God and spiritually and all those things. But when you really think about the grand scheme of life, we don't know all things. We don't know every hidden motive, everything behind this, why you don't need to go this way because what's over here is not good. And like we just see the outer a lot of times of things. And I also just think it's human nature to not go super deep. I think just as a human, there's like this protection that we sometimes like to sit in to not go super deep when it comes to a lot of things, because when you do go deep and you finally start receiving certain revelations and truths, it really takes courage. It really takes strength to be like, okay, so this is what life is really like now, or this is my understanding now versus what this was it was. So yeah. All right, y'all. So I have to hold my dog and talk because when she was on the ground, she was making all kinds of noises and playing. And okay, I'm trying to get this out. So okay, so for, I guess you can call it testimony, but for what I want to speak about for this specific video, we gotta go back a few years, y'all. So I'm going to speak as clear as I can with still speaking in code. Just for the protection of others, and just because I've had my own experiences doesn't mean that everybody else wants their part told or whatever. But anyway, so let's go back a few years, and I remember just being so excited, just planning things, and for let's say like a traditional meeting, our traditional group, whatever you want to call it. I was so excited, um, just to plan things and be a part of this group or whatever. And so at that point, I had already knew the voice of God for myself. I was just more so like learning, and He was testing me, and I was just growing in obedience and things like that. So, I'm all excited. I'm happy. Things are about to happen in a specific gathering, and God told me, don't go. Don't go. Do not go. Okay? You're not going. So, if you truly, truly know me, I am a very like, I don't know if sentimental, I feel like I'm saying that wrong. I don't know if sentimental is the word, but I'm very like, when you are close to me, when you mean something to me, like even like family and stuff, that means a lot. Like I value that above a lot of things in this life. And so when it comes to not being able to show up to certain things or being told not to show up to certain things, it can really be hard to be obedient, especially when you don't really understand why. I think sometimes we think that, oh, because something is special to us in a certain way, that just means we just at no fault just continue to be connected or continue to show up. That's how we're taught. Whether it's family, whether it's close friends, or just meaningfulness, just show up at no fault. And so I remember vividly after hearing God say, "You're not going." I mean, I still had a choice to go. It wasn't like a forceful, like, anything like that. I still, as a person, have free will, have a choice to go, but my heart, and it still is, but my heart at that point in my life was like, oh, I finally have this relationship with God. I'm so excited. Like, I want to do what He says do. So I was torn in that moment. I was so torn. It didn't make sense to me. Why not go? Why not be a part of what's going on? I remember being in tears. I was in tears, throwing a fit. Like, God, why would you not tell me to go? Why can't I go? Like, dramatic. Very dramatic, okay? In my human mind, I was so upset with God, because I'm like, this just feels so like, I'm not saying God is cruel, but in the moment, my human emotions felt like this is like feels cruel. Like these are people that I love, and this and that, and why am I not allowed to be a part of this and go? And, it didn't make sense in my human mind because of my experiences, because of my emotions. And again, I am in this fresh, beautiful, which is still this beautiful relationship with God. So I'm still learning to trust Him. I feel like it takes a lot of faith and courage to truly trust God, because even though I can for sure say that I have seen Him move in my life so many times in ways I don't even know if people would understand. Like, I have literally seen Him move. Like, I know He's real. Like, there is no doubt about it. But when it comes to like the relational part and just growing and learning, it requires a lot of trust. It requires like going through different situations and just learning His voice and learning how He speaks to you. And so when He does tell you something that sounds not like what your logic says, or like what you've been taught all your life by just society and the rules of life and all these things, it can kind of be like this internal tug. It can be like this internal fight because it doesn't make sense to you. But again, He knows the full picture. We only know part of the picture. So before I go further, I want to talk about this scripture, because this scripture was actually somebody used it to speak into my life, like pretty much prophecy. And it was the scripture, Proverbs 3:5. Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not unto your own understanding. And so, like when you hear scriptures and it's like, oh yeah, trust in the Lord. Okay, I'm doing that. lean on your own understanding. We think we get it, we think we understand, until you have to actually walk the thing out. I'm going to tie that scripture into my situation, and it's just gonna be so clear. It's gonna be so clear how it just it makes sense. All right. So throughout the timing of just me not showing up, me being upset, me trying to figure out what's going on, why, I'm not understanding why I have to disconnect from specific people, why I have to disconnect from these specific things. I feel like the one that's left out. I know these people. So I continue on with my life, like try to understand and make peace. And I actually, the funny thing about it was I knew that me not showing up would cause a problem because of the expectation. And even though I never really said anything like negative or anything like that. So as I continue on my journey, I'm just healing and learning and growing and really being delivered from a lot of things from my past, and just seeing life from a new perspective. Like my life had completely changed for the better, and I just had to go through this process, which actually took a couple of years of just recalibrating what my life was now in a new place. After finding God and having a relationship with God, is one thing when you have been living a certain way, and I'm not trying to say negatively, but just like your mindset, your thought, your life has always been this one way, and then you go on this journey, this spiritual journey, and find God, and then now everything that you've known shifts into this whole new thing. And now you have to figure out what this means for my life now, what this means for my life now, what this means for my life now. So I was like going through that type of journey, rediscovering myself, my life, and what things meant for me now. And that even means the people, the things, the places, just all the things have to make sense now. So okay, y'all, so let's fast forward time later. I don't even know how much later. I don't know if it was like a year or two, because there still was like communication, there still was like contact, but I have been in a different place and just on my journey again. And if you are not familiar with like your spiritual journey and just growing on your journey, a lot of times the relationships you had in the past will shift, and it's not necessarily a bad thing. Some may shift for the better, maybe you're able to get closer. But I found that most of my relationships from the past just started to shift, where I was just in a whole different place. And so people around me couldn't connect with the new version of me. Like the old version of me was fine because that's what we knew. So I was in a completely different place. Maybe like I don't even remember like the exact time frame. Maybe like a year or two later, I've in my mind I'm like, okay, time has gone by. I didn't go that specific year, so maybe this year, maybe this year, it's different. So I am like planning to go again. And remember the first time I said I had like a whole fit, like just freaking out. Why me? And that taught me a lesson too. Okay, we gotta grow up, girl, because you should be happy that it was a why me. And so I'm like freaking out, why me? Why this? I should be able to go, and all these things. It's now I don't remember the exact time, maybe like a year or two later. Finally, I'm like, okay, I can go. Let me prepare to go. And I finally come back around and I go. God didn't say I couldn't go. Um I do remember now, and I thought about this morning actually. So maybe it'd be good to mention. I do remember this trusted prophet, like she was so pivotal in my life at that time frame, and I didn't really understand what this meant, but for the specific like people, I just remember her saying deception, and I didn't really understand at that time because in my mind I didn't see the things of deception. I didn't really have a great understanding like I do now of what was going on behind the scenes. But now I do, and it makes sense now. Again, back to not leaning your own understanding, but trusting God, okay? So I'm like thinking like things are getting better, like the people are improving, so it's good, it's fine, Let me just act like things are normal again. Like, let me just go do what I want to do, be around who I want to be around. So I go back around the very people that God told me in 1 year not to go. And it's so interesting how in one season you're able to not see things clearly, and the next things are revealed to you in such a way that you have no choice but to see them clearly. Okay, so I show up, and the first time like being in a gathering, it's like I felt so distant, but not like in a negative way, like something happened to cause the distance, but more so like now that I'm in this new place, I realized there was really nothing in common. There really wasn't much to really connect me outside of familiarity. Like there was no real deep connection anymore. And so I noticed like in that encounter, like I was being asked like really intrusive, personal questions that were just rude, that were just disgusting. And I knew the root of it was jealousy. I knew the root of it was envy. I knew the root of it was like the questions that were being asked and the things that were being said was like, so you watching my life? Okay, I don't hear from you. I don't hear no things from you positive, and I don't even know you're watching my life. And then when I show up back around, it's like this dark energy that I feel like was suffocating me. And just like, how do you even know these things? I haven't even shared these things with you, and you're able to speak of my life. So you're monitoring my life. Okay. You know a lot about my life, apparently. So that was like the start of it. And then there was another encounter. And in that second encounter, it was like a complete ambush. It was like something I don't think I've ever experienced. It was something I've never experienced before in my life, to be completely ambushed by people that you think love you, to be completely ambushed by people that you think have your back and that you have like a history with, but it just, you never could have imagined anything like that. I just find it so profound because I think sometimes we do things and we don't even really know why we're doing it, but it's like spiritually something in us just knows what's about to happen. Before that last encounter of complete chaos is what I want to call it, I remember like before leaving, going to like shower and get ready, and I just like started crying, and I didn't know like exactly where the tears were coming from. I started quoting the scripture in Psalms, I believe 23, where it says, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil. So it's like God already had me speaking over my life, like preparing myself for what I was about to walk into. When you have a pure heart, like you live your life from a pure place, you don't really expect certain things of people. You don't really expect certain things to come at you and happen. And so when they do, it can be very shocking. It can be very shocking. Yeah, walked in the ambush, and after that, didn't hear anything from the people, didn't hear anything after the ambush. And then, now that time has gone on from that, I see exactly what God was doing. The years prior, when He said, don't go, don't be a part of that, don't join in. And this, I love saying this too. It doesn't matter what anybody claim they are, whether that's religion or whatever. It doesn't matter. Even if there is not religion based, if it's just like, oh, I'm this, I'm loyal, I'm a this person, I'm that person. It doesn't matter what anybody claims. What matters is that fruit, baby. What matters is what's being shown. Okay? We look at fruit over here. We don't care about what that mouth is doing, okay? We don't care. We want to see that fruit. How about that? Okay. So now, like, go from that to that, and like just brought back all the things that God told me. And it just like humbles you. It humbles you, and it makes you really like see, like, oh, okay, this is why I need to trust Him. And with all my heart, I need to trust God with all my heart and lean not on my own understanding, because when I don't, I'm not getting the full picture at certain times of what is happening. And sometimes you may never get the full picture, to be honest. But in this moment, I don't have the full picture. And so what he's telling me may not make sense to me, but he understands what is going to happen. He understands the hearts of those around me. He understands the people that are plotting against me. And um, again, sometimes in our humanness, we want to see the best in people. We want to see the best and believe the best and hope for the best. And that's just not it's just not the move, okay? It's just not what needs to be done in that specific situation. So it can cause you to overlook things and, just brush things away. And so, even back to what was spoken to me by the woman that was in my life at that time and saying like the deception thing, it just all came back. And then, once God knew that I was in a place to be receptive and listen, then He started to reveal more things. Like, this person from that group is doing this on you. Okay, they're in dark stuff against you. Okay, they really trying to take you out, and they think that you don't know, or maybe they do think they think you're a fool, but this is what they're doing. This is what they got going on. And it's just like the floodgates of revelation just started to come, because at that point I'm in a place to receive it. At that point I'm in a place of being like, okay, this is what it is. So y'all, I just wanted to share my testimony, my experience. I don't use the word testimony a lot, so I guess this is a testimony. My experience, my what I have gone through to really show me to truly trust God in all things. Again, even in the things that don't make sense, even the things in my life now that still don't make sense. There's a piece about just trusting Him because of the experiences that I have had where I didn't really have the full revelation, but He always has the full revelation. He knows what's going on, and He's protected me from my own self. He's protected me from the things that I don't even realize. So, guys, I hope that it all came together for you and that, yeah, you had a good listen. And I just thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a great day. If you have any topics that you would like me to speak on, or if you would like any coaching, you can definitely reach out to me via email. Would be easiest for me right now. But yeah, stay tuned. I do have more videos coming for this channel, and I hope you have a great day. Bye.